Coming up tonight on KPVI News at 10, the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council is opening a free pantry. And a car cruise was held in Pocatello earlier tonight. KPVI News at 10 starts now.
You're watching KPVI News at 10. KPVI News at 10. News that works for you.
Good evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Misty Inglett.
And I'm Matt Davenport. Our top story tonight, skeletal remains found in Wyoming have been identified as a man reported missing from Income nearly 8 years ago. Patrick Michael Combs was identified using an Idaho driver's license found in the wallet near the remains. According to the Washakie County Sheriff's Office, the remains were found on Tuesday off Blue Bank Road. Deputies found a skull and a large number of human bones. They had previously found Combs' truck during a search in 2017. He'd been missing since 2015. Deputies do not believe foul play was involved in Combs' death.
We have an update to an officer-involved shooting in Twin Falls County that we told you about last night. The man who was shot by police has died. The coroner will identify him and release the cause of his death at a later date. The investigation is ongoing.
Let's get a look at our weather tonight with Chief Meteorologist Doug Iverson. Doug, a little haze in the air tonight.
Word. In fact, you could smell it too. It smells like smoke out there for good reason. We're getting all this smoke from Canada. There's a ton of wildfires and the smoke's blowing in from the north. So there you go. And in fact, it's bad enough in Lemhi, Clark, Madison, and Fremont counties that the Department of Environmental Quality has issued an air quality advisory for those 4 counties in East Idaho until 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The reason being, air quality is considered unhealthy for sensitive groups. So for children, the elderly, if you have asthma or any kind of respiratory trouble, you'll definitely want to avoid any prolonged outdoor activity or anything strenuous at least. Meanwhile, we still have those river flood warnings out for Darlington area. That includes Antelope Creek, Henry's Fork, just west of Rexburg, Portneuf River. We got them all over. Rapid Creek, Marsh Creek, Blackfoot Reservoir, or Blackfoot River, Salt River, and of course Bear River in all Bear Lake County. Matt?
All right, thank you very much, Doug. And the Idaho Department of Environmental Quality has issued a boil order for Shotgun Cherokee subdivision in Island Park. DEQ took water samples yesterday as part of an investigation of water pressure and quality complaints. Today, the lab notified them of E. coli present in the samples taken. Until further notice, residents and businesses connected to the Shotgun Cherokee subdivision water system are advised to boil their water for a minimum of a minute before using.
A section of Woodruff Avenue between Lincoln Road and Yellowstone Highway in Idaho Falls will be widened to help with traffic flow. That will start Monday. The work includes adding 1 northbound lane between Lincoln Road and North Yellowstone. Most of the work will be done in the shoulder of the roadway and will have minimum impacts on traffic. The project is expected to be done in 6 weeks.
The Idaho Falls Water Division will be replacing a leaky water line on Lincoln Road near the Bennett Avenue intersection. That's going to start at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and it's expected to be finished by the evening commute. Eastbound traffic will be down to 1 lane. Drivers should expect delays, and they're encouraged to use alternate routes if possible. There should not be an interruption to the water service.
With temperatures rising, AAA is reminding drivers about the dangers of leaving children and pets in hot cars. On average, a child dies every 7 days from being left in a hot car. Heat fatalities can occur when the outside temperature is 80 degrees or less, even with the windows cracked and the vehicle parked in the shade. AAA reminds you to never leave children or pets in a car, especially in the summer, and make sure to keep your vehicle locked at home so that it can't be opened by children hiding or playing.
The north zone of Salmon Challis National Forest will be implementing several seasonal road openings. Dates for openings on various roads are May 22nd and June 30th of each year. The openings occur annually when protection for wildlife, protection of roads from damage, and the need to increase public safety are no longer needed. These openings are part of the forest's travel plan and can be found online.
The city of Idaho Falls is once again America's best performing small city. The 2023 Milken Institute Best Performing Cities Index ranks cities on their economic performance. According to the study, Idaho Falls' strong jobs and wage growth pushed the city to the top of the list for the 2nd time since 2021. The index reflects the city's ability to leverage resources to promote economic growth and provide residents access to essential services and infrastructure.
The Teton County, Wyoming Treasurer and Teton County Library are teaming up to help community members apply for the state's property tax refund program. Volunteers will be available at the library on May 23rd from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., May 25th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., and May 27th from noon to 2 p.m. Staff will try to accommodate as many walk-ins as possible. The deadline to file the application for the property tax refund program is June 5th. More information can be found at TetonCountyWY.gov.
The Pocatello Mayor's Youth Advisory Council will be opening their new Little Free Pantry. A ribbon cutting will be held Monday at 5:15 p.m. The pantry is located in the Waterwise Demo Garden at City Hall. Community members are encouraged to bring pantry items to the event. The pantry is similar in concept to little libraries that provide free books.
The Idaho Field of Heroes Memorial is returning to Pocatello for the Memorial Day weekend. It'll run from the 26th to the 29th at Century High School's soccer fields. Nearly 7,000 markers will be placed in the field to represent each service member who died in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. An additional 96 markers will be placed to represent the service members with an Idaho connection who have died since 9/11. The event will kick off with a dedication ceremony at 10 a.m. on the 26th. The closing ceremony will be May 29th at 6 p.m.
With the Donor Connect Walk of Life coming up next month, we talked with someone that is a living donor. Josh Seipert from Rigby says about 6 years ago, he went through the University of Utah Health Program to donate a kidney. A match was found within about 4 months. The match was a man in his 50s living in Utah who had children and grandchildren he was taking care of. Seipert got to meet the man after donating his kidney, and they've kept in touch ever since.
I mean, it checked that box for me. It was, it gave me a chance to say, yes, I've saved someone's life. But, and of course it felt good. That's obvious. But at the same time, it really, going through the process kind of opened my eyes to how many people are out there that really need it. And living donation can be so important. And hopefully there will come a time when living donation is no longer necessary, and we can treat these illnesses with some other thing that's a better solution.
To sign up to be an organ donor or to sign up for the Gift of Life 5K on June 17th, you can go to donorconnect.life.
If the streets of historic downtown Pocatello seemed a little more congested tonight, it was because people were out cruising.
Yes! Woo! Love that. Oh my gosh, the exhaust on that. Ah!
Taking to Main Street and driving around the Loop were all makes, all models, and all eras of street machines. Starting around 6 p.m., more and more vehicles merged into the downtown traffic, attracting spectators who paused to see some of the cruising machines in their natural environment. Then it was over to the historic downtown parking lot off Union Pacific Avenue, where it was suns up, hoods up, and time to show off those horses. Now, for some cruisers like Steve Heeb, the night's activities brought back special memories.
Oh, it was really cool because you ran into a lot of car people, and you could talk cars and everything, motors and everything else, and different brands and different makes and stuff. It was a lot of fun, and you build a lot of good friends.
And for more on my and Steve's drive down memory lane, you can watch KPVI News Weekend Edition Sunday night.
Clay Walker is coming to Pocatello. He'll perform at the Port Neuf Health Trust Amphitheater on July 1st at 7 p.m. Walker is best known for hits like She Won't Be Lonely Long, Then What, Live Until I Die, and more. Tickets go on sale Friday at 1 p.m. at BannockCountyEventCenter.us. Still to come on KPVI News at 10, the Supreme Court has taken a Title 42 case off its calendar. Those details coming up, but first let's check back in with Doug Iverson on our weather. Doug.
Finally, a break from all the showers and thunderstorms, at least for Pocatello and Idaho Falls, and that meant we had another day way above average, upper 70s this afternoon, and still warm at night. Of course, now we got to contend with all this smoke. More on that in your weekend forecast straight ahead.
You are watching KPVI News at 10 with Matt Davenport, Misty England, meteorologist Doug Iverson, and sports with Joy Dubois. KPVI News at 10, news that works for you. And now Storm Tracker weather with East Idaho's chief meteorologist Doug Iverson.
Why the smoke? Well, Canada's on fire right now. Western half of Canada, over 3 dozen large wildfires burning right now. Of course, that's a bad combination when you throw in high pressure, and we're to the southeast of that high pressure. We get a northerly flow around that, so all the smoke from all those fires come filtering right on down south into East Idaho. Good news, though, this high pressure will drop down to the south, and that means the flow will change. And so instead of that northerly flow bringing all that smoke in from Canada, we'll start to see a westerly, southwesterly flow that will bring in clear clear air and also some warmer temperatures, as a lot of us will see highs in the 80s on Saturday. So just hang in there for the next 12 to 18 hours. That's when the smoke will be pretty thick, and then we'll see that high pressure settle back down to the south, and we should see less smoke as the day wears on tomorrow. 57 right now. We'll call it clear, mostly clear. It's gotten pretty hazy out there. Visibility down to about 7 miles in Idaho Falls. That may seem like a long distance. Typically, we have visibilities over 10 miles. So a little unusual to see this haze and smoke. I mean, being that it's only May, this is more typical of August or September. Yeah, we shouldn't be talking about wildfire smoke right now. 62 at Pocatello. No wind to speak of. Air pressure on the rise. Visibility, just like Idaho Falls, down to about 7 miles per hour. It gets less, that visibility, the farther north you go, where we have that air quality advisory. Rexburg right now, visibility is only 5 miles. So we're at 48 for a low in Pocatello tonight. We'll call it mostly clear due to that smoke and haze we got out there. Barely a breeze overnight. Same thing for Idaho Falls. 42 for a low. And a smoky, hazy night for sure into early tomorrow morning. I think we'll start off with smoky sunshine in the morning. By the afternoon, a little less smoke out there. We'll certainly see maybe a little more blue peeking through all that haze. 77 for an afternoon high in Idaho Falls. Another day warmer than usual, and almost 80 in Pocatello tomorrow. We'll keep the light winds going out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperatures, not just here, are going to be warmer than usual, but that's been the case all over. Not just Idaho, but Montana and western Wyoming. Over in western Wyoming, almost 70 for a high in Jackson. 71 will be your high over in Soda Springs. We'll be in the mid-70s American Falls. And there are those lower 80s, one in Burley and one in Twin Falls. Your southeast Idaho Chevy dealer 7-day forecast. Looking ahead, there's the 80s for Saturday. Still in the 80s on Sunday, despite the threat of showers and thunderstorms. Looks like we have a chance of stormy weather at least through Wednesday, and maybe just rain showers Wednesday, Thursday. In Idaho Falls 7-day forecast. Weekend starts off nice. Could turn questionable though on Sunday. So if you're planning something outdoors, you may want to do it Saturday or early Sunday at least. Rexburg 7-day forecast. Warmest day will be Saturday, almost 80. Still not too bad temperature-wise, despite the chances of showers and thunderstorms. For the Teton area, we bump up to 72 and a partly sunny sky for Saturday. And then we may rain partly sunny on Sunday with a chance of some thunderstorms as well. And it looks like there's still a slight risk of storming, especially for Mackay and I would say Arco and Stanley tomorrow, but Chalice and Salmon you're A-OK. Then widespread showers a possibility Saturday, Sunday. We get a couple of days where we catch our breath. Could see more showers and thunderstorms next Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay, thank you very much, Doug. The Supreme Court is siding with social media companies. The court upheld the legal protections for social media companies against certain content posted by users. For example, Twitter is accused of being responsible for the spread of militant Islamist ideology that led to at least one person's death. The court ruled unanimously those claims cannot be brought under the Anti-Terrorism Act. The Supreme Court did not answer to whether Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act protects the social media company's alleged conduct. That law safeguards interactive computer services by making sure they can't be legally treated as the speaker of content posted by users.
The U.S. Supreme Court announced today it has formally removed a case from its docket concerning Title 42. That policy expired May 11th. The High Court said the case was no longer relevant. Title 42 was initiated at the beginning of the pandemic to allow border officials to quickly turn away migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border.
President Biden is looking to tackle homelessness in America. The Biden administration has announced a new program where the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness will partner with governments in those cities as well as the state of California. Together, they'll fast-track efforts to house local homeless people. The goal is to reduce homelessness by 25% by the year 2025. And still to come on KPVI News at 10, what's next for TikTok after Montana bans it? That's coming up in Consumer News that works for you.
Montana's governor, the latest one to sign a bill banning TikTok statewide.
Supporters cite security concerns, while those pushing back say the ban violates free speech.
Karen Keisha has more.
Montana's governor signing a bill that would ban TikTok in the state starting January 1st, 2024. And Montana TikTok users sounding off.
I think our governor is being a little goofy.
It's such a huge threat to our national security. We need to know exactly what that threat is.
The U.S. federal government and more than half of U.S. states have banned the use of TikTok on government-issued devices, citing concerns about ties to China via its Beijing-based parent company, ByteDance. There are concerns the app, which boasts more than 150 million U.S. users, could be used by the Chinese government for spying or to spread propaganda. Grilled by U.S. lawmakers in March, TikTok CEO pushed back.
American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel.
The Montana law would prohibit TikTok downloads in the state. Users would not face penalties. Rather, the app stores that allow users to access TikTok would face fines. Senior writer Lily Hay Newman with Wired says the technology to enforce this kind of ban doesn't currently exist.
There is some irony that such a ban would require the creation of technology that is similar to, oppressive technology that China has pioneered.
The ACLU and technology trade group NetChoice called the law unconstitutional, as did TikTok in a statement saying it infringes on the First Amendment rights of the people of Montana. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Apparel made by some athletic wear brands have been found to contain high levels of the toxic chemical BPA. BPA is a chemical used to make certain types of plastic. It has been linked to health conditions like asthma, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, obesity, and erectile dysfunction. The Center for Environmental Health says it sent legal notices to 8 brands after tests showed their apparel could expose wearers up to 40 times the safe limit of BPA. The newly tested brands and their products include leggings from Athleta, Champion, Kohl's, Nike, and Patagonia, sports bras from Sweaty Betty, athletic shirts from Fabletics, and shorts from Adidas, Champion, and Nike.
The Star Wars Galactic Super Cruiser Hotel in Disney World is closing September 28th. Now, at nearly $5,000 per couple for 2 weeknights. 2 weeknights. The price was out of reach for many Star Wars enthusiasts like moi. Some said the interactive fan experience did not live up to expectations. Disney says even though this one didn't work out, the company's not giving up on the immersive, cutting-edge experiences for their guests.
Talk about prices that are far, far away. Well, Kraft Heinz has created this prototype of a dipping sauce dispenser called the Heinz Remix. So it has sauce bases, which include ketchup, ranch, and barbecue sauce. Customers can pick one and then mix it with flavor enhancers like jalapeno, smoky chipotle, buffalo, and mango. Those extra flavors can be added at low, medium, or high levels, and it should be out in some restaurants later this year. All right, Joey Dubois joins us for sports. Hey, Joey.
Hey, Misty. State baseball tournaments are underway, plus a first look at the Idaho Falls Checkers. Sports is next.
And now, sports with Joey Dubois.
The state baseball tournaments are underway across Idaho. Let's take a look at how local teams fared on day 1. Up in 5A, Highland falls on round 1 to Mountain View. Colton Durham with 3 hits for the Rams, but it wasn't enough. They moved to the consolation side of the bracket, where they'll take on Owyhee or Lewiston. In 4A, Pocatello's Brody Birch nearly twirls a perfect game, taking it into the 7th inning, but it's still enough for the Thunder to roll in round 1. They'll take on Bishop Kelly tomorrow afternoon. And in round 7, between the High Country Conference foes, Blackfoot wins it over Bonneville to move on in the tournament. They'll face Skyview tomorrow. We'll have highlights from both those games, plus the 4A softball tournament in Twin Falls tomorrow night on KPVI News at 10. In the 3A bracket, 1-seeded Marsh Valley shuts out Gooding to move on, and Sugar Salem wins a high-scoring matchup with Payette. And in 2A, Malad, the lone local team, moving on today, a dominant 15-2 win over Kellogg. Both Firth and Bear Lake falling in round 1. They'll play on in the consolation bracket. The Idaho Falls Chuckers opening day right around the corner. Today, the baseball team holding their fan fest and taking their team photo for the season. New manager and former big leaguer Dave Clark is enjoying his time in the Gem State.
I've really enjoyed it. The weather has been really, really great. We've been able to get out here every day, get our work in, and I've even had an opportunity to play a little golf while I was here. So it's been really, really great.
Clark brings over a decade of big league playing experience, followed by 20 years of coaching. The Chuckers say they're a fan of their new skipper.
He's like, hey, if you guys got questions, if you want to talk about baseball, off the field, anything you need, if we need help with. So he's been very, he keeps an open mind too. He's a very fair guy, very honest guy, which is, we all appreciate that.
Silva and fellow pitcher Joe Slocum are both entering their third year with the organization, saying the team and city have left a lasting impact.
For me, it's everything. It's a great opportunity, so I love to play ball. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It just happens I'm in Idaho Falls again. I love the city. It's fun to, represent Idaho Falls and carry the city on our shoulders.
The Pioneer League introducing new rules this year, including a pitch clock similar to the one implemented in MLB. But Silva isn't too worried about it.
I'm sure there's going to come a time where, later in the season you get a little tired, you just want to slow down, catch your breath between pitches, and the umpire's like, hey, you got 5 seconds, you need to throw the ball. So definitely will be some adjustments. I think it'll be a learning curve.
Clark says the Chuckers are going to be real active on the base paths, making their games must-watch entertainment.
We're going to bring a really, really exciting brand of baseball here in Idaho Falls. And again, I'm not going to make any prediction about whether we're going to win it all. We're just going to take it one game at a time, not get too high when we're playing well and not get too low when we're not playing so well.
You can check out the Chuckers in an exhibition against the Boise Hawks at Melaleuca Field on Saturday night. They'll play the Hawks again in their official home opener on May 26th at 7 p.m. That'll do for sports. Back to you, Matt.
Okay, thank you very much, Joey. And still to come on KPVI News at 10, which cities are the best to live in? We'll have the answer coming up.